Well, we're discussing this in Estonia at the moment as well, and we think that the entity using AI should be responsible for it. So, for instance, if we talk about public services, and if the government is using AI to provide a public service, then that government will be responsible for its AI. So, for instance, if there's any problems or damage, they can't blame the programming or the algorithm or insufficient data.
People who build such systems and people who are in charge of deploying these systems are responsible for doing their best to understand and foresee the consequences of the deployment and to ensuring boundary condition that minimize the risk of problems, or let's say that maximize the benefit to risk ratio, because such system will always have risks and always benefits, and to make sure that the benefits outweigh the risk.
AI is produced by the human and should help a human, not directing human. From this perspective, the roles and responsibility are very clear. So at the human side, even the autonomous system, we call it autonomous. So we needed to make clear that the system first to be trained and to be developed under human's control. So this is actually the point regarding the responsibility and rules.
So let me first start by how powerful artificial intelligence will be in our lives, and the impact of how this new technology is going to converge with other technologies from genomics, biotech, affective computing, in a way that will impact not only how we organize our society, but also increasingly how we think, how we behave, and how we are surveilled or not by those technologies. So it's a really powerful technology with significant implications. In that context, responsibility means a lot. And the issue with artificial intelligence is that the way the technology is designed, shaped, deployed, is actually a distributed system. So we're talking about distributed agency and therefore distributed responsibility, which means that the liability for deploying an AI system that would lead to collective harm has to be undertaken and has to be, to some extent, the issue of a system of actors.
I work for government, and voters vote for governments in order to task them to take up certain responsibilities, and certainly also the responsibility about what kind of artificial intelligence we would like to have in the future. And the question of what we should look at is we should try to have an artificial intelligence that is designed in a way that it's beneficial to the people, that it creates well-being, better working and living conditions for us, and should also contribute to reaching the SDGs.
The philosophical community is responsible for training ethicists. We need a whole new generation, hundreds of excellent young analytical applied ethicists who have done their homework about artificial intelligence. Philosophers also have to tell people what bad arguments are. A bad argument is there is an arms race going on, therefore we must be a part of it. Civil society has to become active, and it's responsible for creating a public discourse. Political institutions, of course, have to take the results of ethical debates and implement them through a democratically legitimated process into enforceable law. And the highest responsibility, I think, today political institutions have is to fight against lobby contamination. So fake ethics, ethics washing that is produced by the industry has already contaminated political debates, political institutions.
The question perhaps should be reframed. It's not exactly who should be responsible for what, but I think that no one can pretend not to be responsible for the consequences of his own action or her own actions. Therefore, I think that in artificial intelligence there are many, many different actors who are involved, but at the same time also the public is the one who's going to use and perhaps take the consequences of artificial intelligence development. And therefore, I think that everyone should be involved in the process as much as possible, according to competences, of course.